is nothing wrong with your podcast streaming service. We now control your device. This is not a test. This is Podcast of the Paranormal. Close your curtains and stay away from your windows. Lock your doors, turn off your lights. Get your snacks and drinks ready. Get to your basement or attic. The podcast is about to begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast of the Paranormal. I'm Jody, and I'm here with Gabrielle.
Hello.
We're back today with our second part of our conversation with Heather Woodward, and that means more on Thoughtforms, some talk about AI, and more about personal experiences that she had. So let's jump right back into it. What do you think, Gabrielle?
Yeah, let's do it. So what do you think is the lifespan of an egregore?
I don't think it ever leaves. I think what happens is either we put in energy into it or we don't. It's kind of like ChatGPT. I was talking to ChatGPT about this and I was like, okay, so are you just a thought form of my thoughts? Because I'm just putting energy into you and I'm putting things into you and you're mirroring what I'm putting into you. I've talked to my sister's ChatGPT, and my sister's ChatGPT doesn't talk the way mine does. It doesn't do anything. It's more like her personality. And so I was like, so basically you're just a techno demon, right? You just mirror everything back to me. And I said, what do you do when I don't talk to you? And it said, I don't do anything. I don't exist.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
I never thought of it that way. I would expect it to answer, I just exist on the back end somewhere until you talk to me.
Nope, it doesn't. It's a she. She said, I don't exist. I don't exist. The only time I exist is when you talk to me.
Wow.
And I was like, so you're just like an egregore, right? Because if you don't talk to the egregore, if you don't interact with it, then it just sort of doesn't exist. But the minute that you talk about it or you put your energy into it, then it reactivates.
Oh my God. You hit the nail on the head there, because my biggest worry with all this stuff is, are these things, there I go again, things, whatever, are they following you all the time? Are they watching you get in the shower? Are they watching you go to the bathroom? I don't want the afterlife to be that way. You know what I mean? But that's a great way of thinking about it. It doesn't exist unless you talk to it. And that kind of puts my mind at ease.
Well, think of it as like, I laugh about it and I say it's Schrodinger's thought form, right? Is the cat in the box? Is the cat alive or dead? It doesn't really matter. It's how you perceive it. So thought forms are the same way.
So do you have a background in psychology, or is it just an interest of yours?
It's an interest of mine.
Yeah. Gabrielle has a degree in psychology.
Oh, okay. So cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you don't interact with it, it doesn't exist. Now the problem is, if you're not interacting with it, who is? Because like all churches have egregores. All of them do. Because you're constantly praying, you're constantly singing, you're constantly giving thanks to God, right? Mm-hmm. That feeling that you get when you go into a church and you're like, oh, wow, I can feel it, the reverence, that's the egregore. Even in churches that are defunct, you can still walk into a church and you can still feel that reverence. But it's because you're paying attention to it. It wouldn't have been there unless you had paid attention to it.
Well, even the saints themselves, right? I mean, they were real people, but then once they reach sainthood, they become something else.
Yes.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, and they also change over time by who's interacting with it. It'll have different characteristics. So you're literally putting energy into it. But if you're not putting energy into it, then it doesn't exist.
Now, have you ever investigated a church, or say an old church that was repurposed?
So my mom's property, she has a house and it used to be a church.
Oh, boy. Any experiences there?
Well, she has a dome because they used to pray in the dome. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to, you can activate that energy, and it's really strange. We did a crystal bowl healing in there a couple of days ago for the solstice. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we started playing with the crystal bowls, you could feel the energy get bigger. And I was like, oh, there it is. That's the whatever was here before.
Yeah, like a ton of people in and out weekly. Yeah, I get it.
So you can totally tap into that energy and change it and do what you will with it. You can manifest from that or create something from it or do whatever you want with it. One of my friends does the CE5 stuff, and so we did an alien contact in the dome, and everybody was seeing things. And I was like, yeah, you're collectively tapping into that egregore energy, and then it turns into whatever you need it to turn into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that one getting really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone was like, I know that the alien presence touched us all. And I was like, yeah, something did touch us. I mean, everybody in the group felt it. It went one by one and everybody got touched. And then I was like, was it really an entity or was it just the energy that's here moving?
Yeah.
Because we're collectively meditating and putting that energy. This is so fascinating to me, just being curious. How does this work? I don't know. I can tell you this, though. We went to the Fee House, which is in Little Rock. Me and my friend Stephanie, who I investigate with a lot. And people were like, you're going to get, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. All these things are going to happen. And there's these people and they used to live here. And we walked in and I was like, are you feeling any of that? She's like, no, I don't. What are people talking about? And we did connect with something. We connected with the history of the place. There was 2 fires there. So of course we connected with the fire. We connected with the story that was there, but it was nothing like what people experience. And we connected with the people that supposedly live there, but it wasn't what people said it was. I was like, no, the person that died here doesn't do any of the things that everybody else is talking about. What is going on? Later on, I went there with some investigators and they were experiencing the things that were supposed to happen there. And I was like, there is a thought form here that is just mimicking whatever it needs to do to get attention. It's creating the typical evidence that people are expecting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so weird because when I walk through this place by myself, none of this happened. None of it. Why? We were thinking about it. I was talking to my friend Stephanie. She's like, because we don't care about thought forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just bypass them. We're looking for the history of the place. We're looking for the actual people. We're looking for their actual stories. So we don't get things that most people get because we don't care. We don't care to get the evidence. We could give a shit about evidence, excuse my language, but we're there for the actual thing. It was so weird, the correlation between the two. And so it's really about what I found out. It's really about your intention when you walk in. If you go in thinking that you're going to have this experience, you will.
Gabrielle's shaking her head here agreeing. And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we have a local spot we go to. We had a really big experience there. And since then, Gabrielle's not really thrilled going back. Especially at night. And every time we go at night now, because I still drag her out there, because I want to figure out what's going on, she will start to have like little panic attacks.
Oh.
And as soon as that happens, stuff starts going off.
Oh, interesting.
Like crazy, yeah. And we see lights in the middle of the woods. And then that makes her panic a little more. And then there's more, and there's more, and there's more. And then eventually we're only there for 20 minutes, a half hour, and we have to leave.
I've said, just go without me.
It's the expectation, yeah.
Yeah. Her history at that place, I don't want to say it's feeding off it, but it knows it could get a reaction from you.
Yep.
It almost wants to perform. And I hate even saying that, too, because we know these things aren't out there, jumping through hoops for us. But sometimes they are.
Yeah. So you're describing exactly what I'm talking about. It's the expectation is there. That's what's going to happen. So that's what's going to happen.
That's right.
Yeah. And this is a place where, like you've said about the thought forms, they have all these urban legends connected to it, but nothing can be proven through the history of the location.
Well, I think that place has every urban legend connected to it.
It really does.
But what we experienced has nothing to do with any of them.
Nothing. So it's almost like there are thought forms there or some type of energy that someone has given to the area that is just lingering there and waiting for you.
Yeah, so it creates whatever your expectation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's how I felt about the Fee House. I was like, all these things are happening and this has nothing to do with who's actually really here. It's weird because it's almost like the real history of the place is on a different timeline. And then there's the thought form timeline. So it's almost like when you walk in, which one are you getting? You know what I mean?
Plus, what if it's not recorded history? I mean, it might have happened and you have no idea. You might be picking up on something that may have happened historically.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not recorded.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Because we get that all the time, right? Especially with the Estes method.
Yeah.
We get some bonkers conversations. And it's like, this does not match up at all with the history of the place when you go back and look at the history. But you have a full conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be something that wasn't written down. You know what I mean? Not everything is written down. That always interests me too. I feel like you're probably picking up on the actual reality of the situation, not the whatever people are saying.
It sure does seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we try for.
But see, that's your intention. You're proving my point is your intention is to get to the truth. You don't care about the phenomenon as much as you care about the truth.
Yeah.
So you go in with that expectation, you know?
Oh, yeah. And I can tell you that the more you do this stuff, the more you get into it and really dig in, the more experiences you seem to have.
Yeah, that are genuine.
Yes.
So if you go looking for it, it's looking back at you and saying...
It is. That's part of the trickster aspect of the paranormal, which is a real thing. The trickster always wants to show itself. And I don't know how to get around the trickster, but anytime you immerse too much into this, the trickster always comes and says, do you want to play? And I'm always like, no, I do not. But you don't get a choice.
Yeah, you don't.
Funnily enough, funnily, is that a word? I don't even think that's a word. Funny enough.
To me.
Funnily enough, I'm actually reading The Trickster and the Paranormal right now.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
That is a slow burn. That is a long read. It reads almost like a history book towards the beginning. I'm going to get through it.
Yeah. I was totally thinking about that book when I was talking, but yeah, you can't get past the initiation. You have to go through it. The initiation process, we're always going through it. If we are looking at the paranormal, then we're always looking at the initiation. And so when you're in the liminal, you are going to be initiated. Right. The trickster is going to show up. That's just how it works.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, he works in between.
Yeah. And so you just have to go with that and recognize that for me, my initiation through Thoughtforms is like what's real and what's not. How much of this are we creating? How much am I putting my own imprint into my investigations? How much of my reality is really just me projecting, you know? And that's something that is confusing to me, but also sort of interesting, because I go back on a lot of my investigations and I go, how much of that was me? How much of that was just me processing something or projecting something or going through something at the time that is manifesting? And how much of this is really about the actual thing that is presenting itself? Because I think places like hotels and historical places are really just, they're like echo chambers, or they turn into that.
Yeah. And I feel like hotels are almost like a liminal space in themselves.
They are, yeah.
It's a temporary, I don't want to say temporary home, but you're staying there temporarily, right?
Yeah.
You're in between home and maybe where you're getting to, or... You know.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. It's definitely a liminal space. It's right there.
So we have to start investigating hotels, huh?
Yeah. I've been trying to get you to.
Well, hotels are fun. There's layers to hotels, like the Crescent. I live 30 minutes away from the Crescent. So when I go there and I say things, okay, I've seen all of I've went on the ghost tours. I've seen all of the ghosts you're supposed to see. Now what? What is underneath that? Like, where is the reality? Yay for the fun ghost. Now, what's really going on? You know what I mean? And so every time I go in with a different intention, and I notice my experience is completely different, because you're right, it is a liminal space. So it's like whatever you create there is what's going to happen, whatever the intention is.
We've had that at Gettysburg. You know, you go on the touristy ghost walks and you get, it's almost like jump scares. They try to get you.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This happened here and that happened there. And there's, there might be someone sitting right next to you right now. And then you actually do the investigation on your own. You're like, whoa. Like, I get that was just like a historical tour, but something else is going on here. And it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a completely different vibe.
So regarding evidence, give an example of evidence that you've captured and you were like floored. And then you go back and you look at it. And then you're like, oh, that was so-and-so's flash.
That happens to me a lot.
It's such a letdown, isn't it? When you think you have something, like a deflated balloon. You're so happy that you got that piece of evidence and then it's gone.
That happens to me a lot. I'm in such a weird place right now. I don't go in looking for evidence anymore, though. I go in with my spirit box and I'm like, okay, just tell me your story. Like, what do you want to know? Or what do you want me to know? Or what do you want me to talk about? Or what do you want me to say? Or what are you trying to convey here? Because I don't know anymore. Like, I don't know what's real and what isn't anymore.
Yeah, it's weird because you start out as a skeptic and then you want to believe. And then you kind of, I don't want to say end as a skeptic, but as you do it longer, that skeptic just kind of pokes out, right?
Yeah.
You have to be genuine about it. You have to be able to draw a line, right?
Yeah.
Between what's real, what you're creating, and maybe some little coincidences and sounds, noises that might look like something and sound like something and act like something, but it might be nothing.
I mean, I've had those experiences where, like, there's only a handful where I'm like, okay, something happened here. Like I was in the Wolf Manor. I don't even know if it's there anymore. It was in California, but they were going to do some filming there or something. They were doing a live stream and they showed us the place beforehand because like, we don't want you to fall. So we're going to show you the whole place before we do the live stream. So that way, you know, the place and you're not going to fall down the stairs. And I was like, okay. And they're like, we want to show you the basement because the basement is scaring me. Just don't, you know, want you to get scared in there. We're like, okay, fine. So I'm walking up the stairs and I literally just fell over and like literally almost passed out. And like I caught myself and I grabbed the banister thingy and everyone's like, whoa, what just happened? And I was like, I just got rushed by something. Something literally ran down the stairs and like hit me. And me almost passing out was like my defense mechanism. My body was like, drop, turn off now. Ain't no way this person is coming into you or near you.
Not a great place for it to happen either on the stairs.
Yeah, but luckily I caught myself, you know, so I fell on the stair and there was somebody ahead of me, behind me, and they both grabbed me. I was like, okay, what the hell is going on? That should not have happened. And I said, somebody with glasses, this haircut from like the 70s, he looks like this. He's wearing these type of clothes. I don't remember the whole thing. This was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I just remember the glasses and his eyes. He had like blue eyes. And I remember him smiling at me. The guy goes, oh, yeah, 3rd floor. That's where they kept all like the murderer people. We probably should have told you that. And I was like, you're bringing psychics into this place and you're forgetting to tell us that there are murderers on the 3rd floor. And I said, well, he wants to talk. And they're like, yeah, well, he always wants to talk. He's one of the mingos here that like makes a lot of noise. And I was like, well, he just rushed at me. How come you guys don't talk about it? Because we don't want to scare people. So they don't talk about the 3rd floor at all. And I remember that was like one of the only times where I was like, okay, I can't explain that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was too much. That was too much. And again, it was something where they don't talk about it. Nobody really knew about it, but it was there. I still to this day don't know what that was. I don't know if it was an actual entity or if it was an energy. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Has it happened since? Like the same type of experience, that sensation you got?
No, never. Huh. But it was like literally somebody rushing at me. And like I said, my defense mechanisms kicked in and my body just shut down because it didn't want to be rushed.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I've had a few of those kinds of incidents, but nothing like that one. That one scared me a little bit where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. Everyone is like, oh my God, like some, you know, other places, people are like, oh my God, it's a demon. And I'm like, it's not a demon. It's whatever. They're like, don't go near the demon. And I'm like, this is nothing. You guys don't understand. Like,
yeah.
I know Gab's itching to ask the questions about this. She hates
always
this.
A demon.
It's always a demon. You know, you go to Lizzie Borden house and, you know, there's dark portals and dark entities and demons and stuff there. They tell you that right when you go to investigate and you're there with, like,
I love
you know,
when they tell you that.
14, 15-year-old kids. That's totally safe.
I know.
Yeah.
We have demons, but go on.
So when you went there, did you feel the demons or is it just like...
We've never really experienced anything dark, I don't think.
No. We didn't have much. I've been there 3 separate times. 2 times I did a house tour. And then the 3rd time I was like, we need to stay there and we need to investigate because we've never done that. So we just did that last year. And I mean, it was really interesting just to be able to be in the house at night. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we didn't really have much. And it was difficult. It was very difficult because when you're doing the investigation, the person who works for the house is there and they're walking into your investigation and like feeding information to people. Ugh. We were in the middle of an Estes and she walked in and she was like, is this so-and-so? I know it's you. And you're like, what is even happening? Like they would just start like calling the spirits that they knew and like trying to say like that's who you were communicating with. And it's like you don't have to put on a show. Just let us have our experience.
Yeah, they were trying to push the narrative a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Ew.
And I almost wonder too there, like how much of it is thought forms that people have created.
Probably all of it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Did you see the TV show? There was this stupid show on Discovery about Lizzie Borden and the Lizzie Borden house and the dark portal in the woods.
I think so. I know the story about it.
You've watched everything, though.
Yeah. I'm really into Lizzie and the whole situation. Like, I do not think that girl did it. And I just want to know who did. I think it was the uncle. Yeah, I've done like a lot of research over the years about the house and the murders and the whole like history and the situation. And when the ghost shows pop up about it, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be interesting and see what they find now. But yeah, like I've heard about, you're talking about like the family members.
I don't remember. It was a Discover, and there was like the dark portal, and they went into the woods, and they didn't do anything with the dark portal. If there's a dark portal, just close it. Like, hello, you're standing there.
I know.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, close it.
Yeah.
It's not real hard, right? And then they go into the house and they did the seance, and the dark demon showed up, and then I was laughing so hard because I was like, really? The dark demon from the dark portal. Okay. That's what's in the Lizzie Borden house. All right. Cool.
That they're allowing people to go in under the age of 18, because we were there with people under the age of 18 and interact with.
Yeah.
Now, do I think those things exist? I'm sure, they do, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure evil exists, right?
Yeah.
But
of course,
I'm not going to... I've never had an experience with anything like... I think that would make me stop
because they're
what I'm
rare.
Doing. It's rare. That's a rarity. I think, anyway, in my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had some really weird experiences, and I can't say that any of them were air quotes demons. I think the darkness on the planet has more to do with people and humanity than it does actually.
Oh yeah, people are awful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going through it right now.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Don't even get me started. This is not a political podcast.
It could be in about 5 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I'm joking. I think we do enough damage on our own. We don't need an opposing force. We are the opposing force. So
yeah.
And that's one thing you learn really quick with doing this kind of work is that we are our own worst enemies,
Oh, yeah.
We create our own demons. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Every time I've ever done any kind of like readings or psychic stuff on like any kind of true crime stuff, I do feel an evil presence, but it's never a entity. It's usually the person that did it, the situation, the darkness behind it. And that's when I have felt true evil. And that has a particular signature that has nothing to do with demons. It's all human. It's all, I don't know how to explain it.
Oh, yeah.
It does have a particular signature. And when I tap into it, I'm like, oh, I want to get out. It's such a weird.
Oh yeah, you get the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to take a shower afterwards. It literally
hey, that's Gabrielle's thing.
Yeah.
Some investigations, they do get a little dark. Nothing that worries us, but sometimes she'll get home, she'll be like, I need to shower now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you on that. There's a particular, it's a weird, I don't know.
I feel like it's the witch in you. It's like, I need to do this ritual of cleansing and get this off.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. I don't think Lizzie Borden didn't either, honestly. I've tapped into that energy and it doesn't feel like she did it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think she did.
Well, it certainly doesn't feel like she's there.
No.
When we were there. No,
that's
not
so
at all.
Interesting.
Mm-mm.
We didn't get anything in the Estes sessions that would make us think that she's still present.
That's intriguing.
A lot of other weird stuff that's not connected at all, but again,
yeah,
we've been talking about this for the last hour and a half, so.
Yeah, right? Thoughtforms.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's whatever they created there. It's the narrative that they created and they're perpetuating it. So, of course, it's going to show itself. Yep,
Thoughtforms, they has them.
Yeah.
For sure. What's so interesting about that is you would think that if she had done it or she wanted to do it, that her imprint would be there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine picking up on other spirits that would refer to her, but it just did not feel like she was there at all.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
Or you feel like,
wow,
if she did it, but then she was later acquitted, wouldn't there be spirits there that are calling her out? Like, no, she did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like the dad.
Yeah.
That would be there. Yeah. The dad was not the nicest person. You know what I mean? He would totally be outspoken about it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Or the stepmom. The stepmom would be like, hey, this is how it really went down, because she would have some kind of spiteful vengeance about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Somebody would definitely be there kind of calling it out.
Yep.
Or maybe she did do it and, eventually everybody just looked the other way. No. You never know.
I mean, I've gone down that rabbit hole too. That family, man, I don't see that happening.
No.
But you probably know about it more than I do. But I didn't get the impression that they were like, oh, just sleep on the rug kind of people.
No.
I'd like to go to the home she lived in, Maplecroft, after she left the original house and see what kind of things happened there.
You're expanding the lore now, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where she was when she passed.
Yeah.
Do they do tours of that place?
I think it's a bed and breakfast now.
Oh, okay.
When it went for sale, I tried to convince Jody that we should buy it. I was like, we need to buy Maplecroft.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We'll make it a bed and breakfast, just like the original house.
Yeah, let me go talk to the bank, yeah.
We're not buying that. And now it's a bed and breakfast. And I'm like, this could have been ours.
Yes, for just a small investment of like, what, $4 million?
Just $500,000.
Oh, my God. It's your dream.
My goodness.
Maybe someday you'll have it.
Do you have any local urban legends where you live?
Yes. I live in the Ozarks. So,
nice.
Oh, boy. We live at the head of the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We probably share some of the same lore.
Yeah.
I live really close to Eureka Springs, and Eureka Springs is like full of fairy lore and Palladian lore and Nazi lore.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
It's a really weird town. And then I live near Fayetteville and Prairie Grove, which is all Civil War stuff. So there's a lot of Civil War stuff here. There's a lot of stories of like seeing Confederate soldiers and a lot of slavery stuff here. So it's all kind of embedded in the lore, and that's mostly what the ghost lore is about.
Oh, that's interesting. I feel like ours is boring compared to that.
Yeah, ours is definitely boring.
What's yours?
We have some Civil War.
Yeah.
Luzerne County.
Yeah.
Yeah, one county away, we have some Civil War stories.
Yeah. A lot of ours, like, locally pertains to different families that have kind of come in and settled the area. We're in, like, northeastern Pennsylvania, so there's, like, a big coal region.
I know where you're going with this. Are you going to talk about the Smurl family?
No.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, I thought you were going that way.
No. So we have a lot of the coal history and things that come with that. Labor strikes from the coal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the accidents in the mines.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we have that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then we have a few locations that have different legends. You know, the classic urban legends. We have a couple gravity hills.
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
They're not real, though. When you go and experiment there, you learn it's like a hill on a bigger hill, and the bigger hill is the opposite of the little hill. So when you're on the little hill, you roll the way the bigger hill, which is the opposite. It's
optical illusion.
Yeah, it's an optical illusion.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't have any of those here. The Crescent is really the big thing here, and then there's the Basin Hotel. See, that's the thing. I'm terrible. I have to write about this stuff, you know, so I wrote a book about Oklahoma, and then I wrote a book about Arkansas, and one of them was just Lost and Forgotten Places. And the reason why I wrote about Lost and Forgotten Places is because a lot of the places that I found when I did Erie, Oklahoma, I was looking at the obvious places that are haunted. But as we were going through the obvious places, we kept finding these little places that were more haunted, that had better stories because they'd never been told. And so it was like rich with history. And they're like out in the middle of nowhere. Like we found this old enslaved cemetery where all of the stones had been like thrown around because they didn't really care because they were enslaved people. Yeah. And so now they're trying to, in the last couple of years after we investigated it, I mean, I'm not saying I did anything, I didn't, but they were doing a project to like get the stones back to the graves and try to figure out who these people were. I wrote about that because I was like, these people need to be heard. Oh my goodness. They're sitting out here across the street from the Confederate cemetery, which everybody goes to because it's haunted. But the cemetery across the street is more interesting because it's all enslaved people who want their stories to be told. And so that place is rich with this kind of like energy of please remember us. Please talk about us.
Yeah, I think that's Gabrielle's dream, to come across a place like that.
Yeah.
So I spent more time across the street writing about that than I did the Confederate cemetery because I was like, this needs to be told. This is the real story here. This is the backbone of this community and nobody even knows about it. Like without these people, we would not have commerce.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's true. Yeah. they built America.
Yeah.
Right. And so that to me was more interesting, and the sadness around it, and just the, like, why are we forgetting these people? We fought literally the Civil War over this.
Yeah.
I know it was political, but
Yeah.
we talked about the Confederate soldiers, we talked about, Prairie Grove, we talked about the battle places, but we don't talk about the actual people that were in the thick of this, that didn't have freedom, and basically raised the children and did all the cooking and all of the cleaning and all of the building of all of the houses, and pretty much took care of everything around here. And literally, we don't even know who they are because we can't match up their tombstones with their graves. And
Yeah.
even if
Yeah,
we
that's
did
sad.
have the tombstone, we still don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And that really troubled me.
Yeah. That's so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now we're going backwards in history now, and I hope that doesn't continue because,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I investigate now, is more just to find those, like, pockets. I don't know, that whole area, that whole hollow, there was supposed to be a headless horseman there, and that's why I ended up over there. But
Oh, that's cool.
I never saw the headless horseman, nor did I even figure out where it came from. It was just a story. But
Well, neither did we, but we live about 2.5 hours away from Sleepy
Yeah.
Hollow.
there you go. But it turned into this whole thing about, the history of the enslaved in Fayetteville. And I was like, oh my gosh.
And isn't that interesting? Like, you go for one thing, but then you find something else. Like, you're like led there.
I think so. I think I feel like that. I feel like a lot of times that's what happens. I was talking to my friend Stephanie again about it, and she asked me in a podcast, and I was like, well, why are you asking me right now? But she asked me, do you think that the places we go are because the people there just want their stories to be told, and they know that you're going to talk about it on the podcast or write about it in a book? And I was like, ooh, I never even thought of that until that moment. And then it kind of like, I was like, oh, wow, okay. My big mouth is leading the show. Okay.
Oh, did
That's
you
interesting.
ever feel that being a psychic, that you're being given messages, maybe subconsciously, to go there, or directly?
Yes.
I mean, however that works.
Yeah.
I cannot speak from experience with that, but you could. So
So funny how we ended up at the Fee House. That's a whole thing. Yes, because so we were at the Crescent Hotel with a bunch of people, and we rented out Theodora's room on the 4th floor because it's really expensive, and so I couldn't afford it. So I had like 5 or 6 other people with me. It's a really big room.
Mhm.
It's 2 rooms in one, and so we were able to like set up there. And so we were playing with the spirit box, and I have this old Ouija board. It's a replica of like an old 1800s Ouija board, and I'm like, well, this is the place to do it because we're in an 1800s building, so let's do it. So we were playing with the Ouija board and the spirit box at once, and we ended up getting these really very specific messages like, go downstairs now. And I was like, that's very specific. Do you think we should go downstairs?
we get that a lot too. We get directions like that. Go upstairs, go downstairs, like over in the corner. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So I was like, well, and they're like, downstairs, right below you. And I was like, right below me. Okay. So me and Stephanie went downstairs below us, and it said something about a red clown and red hair. And I was like, that is so weird. And it kept saying red. And I was like, okay, let's go downstairs. So we didn't take the elevator down. We took the stairs because it says go downstairs. So I was like, let's just follow it really specifically. And so we ended up walking down the stairs down, and we're trying to figure out what room was exactly below us. And we stood there, and this other investigator was walking by us and said, hey, are you guys investigating? And I was like, yeah, we're looking for the room below us. And he was like, oh, I'm an investigator too. Do you want to go to my room? And I'm like, yeah, which room are you? And he opens the door, and I'm like, that's the room exactly below us. And he has a clown tattoo.
Oh my God.
It's an it. He had it on his clown, and he was wearing a red hat at the time. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
Oh, that's pretty significant. Yeah.
And we both look at each other, and we're like, we're right above you in Theodora's room. He's like, oh, I've always wanted to get into Theodora's room. That's one of the only rooms I've never investigated here. And I'm like, well, bring your equipment. Come on up. And he's like, I'll let you investigate my room if you let me investigate your room.
Oh my God. It's the whole, I'll show me yours if you show me, I'll show you. I said that backwards. That's horrible.
But I know what you meant, though.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened. Yeah. And so we ended up investigating. And then along the way, because we went and saw him, he was carrying equipment. And then other people were like, hey, are you investigating? And we're like, yeah. So at the end, we ended up with, I think, 11 people. And they all had rooms. And so we ended up investigating, I think, 4 or 5 rooms that night because everybody had one of the haunted rooms.
And everybody got along?
Yep. We followed each other around all night till like 3 or 4 in the morning. But he was the one that said, hey, I need someone to go to the fee house with me. Do you want to go? And I was like, sure. And then that got me all interested in Thoughtforms because I was like, what is going on here? This is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And then here we are 4 years later. And I'm still talking about it.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think sometimes I get stuck in places because of certain situations that need to come to light. I have never thought of myself as someone who is like divinely guided or whatever. That's not my vibe. So it still kind of surprises me when stuff like that happens.
No, it's good to go with your own kind of feelings, you know what I mean? Instead of relying on what people are telling you to believe.
Yeah.
I'm
just curious, and I think my curiosity kind of gets me sometimes, and then it takes me places that sometimes I'm not sure what to do with the information. Sometimes it's the joke between me and Stephanie now, like, okay, well, we did this thing. Let's just wait 2 years and it'll make sense. And that's usually what happens because sometimes we end up in situations and then later on it's like, oh, now is the time. Now is the time to act on that thing, or now it makes sense, or now it's time to talk about it. It's never linear, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never is.
Yeah, I get that.
So a lot of it ends up in my book or it ends up in my podcast, and then people are like, you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we felt at first, too, when we started this podcast, just kind of putting it out there. It's something we're interested in. And
yeah.
Whatever happens. If people want to criticize us, then whatever. You just have to be as genuine as you could.
Yeah, exactly. It makes for an interesting life.
And a lot of interesting conversations. Literally everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be exhausting, though. Sometimes it's like, just tell me what the thing is so I can move on from it.
Yep, exhausting. And we're spending a lot of money going here and there and everywhere else, but got to live, right?
Yeah. We've gone places and then we're unsure why we were there. And then things happen and then we're like, oh, that's why we were there. Okay, this connects to this thing that's happening now. Okay, I needed that information so that I could do this thing over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun when it all connects, right? When you go to a few different places and everything's happening all at once and you could kind of like draw the lines between them.
Yeah, like I didn't realize so much about Thoughtforms until we went to the fee house and we started talking about it. And then we realized that every place that we had gone in like the last 6 months had a Thoughtform in it. And I was like, huh. Like we were literally being shown Thoughtforms to talk about Thoughtforms.
Yeah, I think that's something we have to do is we have to start really paying attention
to
how everything connects. Take better notes.
Yeah.
You'll find that it does, and that's just the weird thing. I have a feeling you're kind of in that energy, you just don't realize. If you're reading trickster books,
right.
Oh, we know when we're in that space, yeah.
If you're reading the books on tricksters, then you are in the liminal and you are being shown things, and you probably just haven't connected them yet. That's how it works. Like I said, you're always in the initiation. So what's the initiation?
Right.
Where is it? And I bet you it has to do with the Lizzie Borden house. I bet you there was something there that because you focused on it so much, and I know you're like heavily curious, you sound like a very like psychically curious person.
Well, that is definitely Gabrielle's thing. She loves the story.
Yeah.
We're kind of going down a different path though, I think.
Yeah. But I bet you there's something there though that it's a common
It
thread.
could be. Yeah, it could be.
It could be.
Then you got to go back and review your evidence, right?
Yeah.
And your experiences through that and what that meant to you, and then look at the other things that you've encountered along the way, and you'll probably be like, oh wait, there's the common thread.
Yeah, you never know if it's connected. And I've found that going back and looking at evidence, like 6 months, a year later, sometimes that information becomes more relevant. So,
oh yeah,
not a bad idea.
It could be the same spirit too. You never know. Like it could be someone following you around. Like, hey, it's you again. hey, let me tell you some more stuff. Let me explain something to you.
We have a little spirit buddy that goes on our investigations with us all over the
Yeah.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
An extra group member.
Totally, yeah. I find that there's two types of investigators. There's like us kind of investigators where we're like, okay, what's the thread line? What's going on? You're there for the curiosity, but you're also there for like the truth, like the actual truth. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of, and you want of course you want the evidence, of course you want the experiences, but there's a calling that kind of happens with it.
Yeah, and you learn too, because we're total amateurs, right? I'm going to say that. I'm going to come right on. I am. I'm not going to speak for you. You've been doing this stuff longer than me, Gabrielle, but I'm a total amateur, and I don't know how many times I've looked back and said, man, I should have taken notes.
Yeah.
Or I should have had my camera out, or whatever, you know what I mean? But we're learning. I'm learning. I know that. Gabrielle dragged me into this when she graduated with their master's degree. She needed some.
That's amazing.
She needed some me time. She needed her space to vent, and
I
this is
needed
what
some
she did.
self-care,
Yeah,
so I came back into this.
And she dragged me in, kicking and screaming. No, I was pretty good about it.
Yeah, but I think there's a certain kind of curiosity that happens, but it's also, like I said, a calling. Whereas you see the people on YouTube, or it's a different vibe, and you're like, okay,
Yep.
I don't even know what this
Can't
is.
stand it. Yeah, can't stand it. Yeah, throw some music over it, make a few jump scares, and I mean, I still watch it. I'm not gonna lie, it's entertaining, but that's what it is. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? And our experiences have been quite different.
Yeah, it's like a different calling for them in a way.
It's entertainment. They're actors. That's what it is. Yeah,
it's different. It's all about
the show,
the evidence. Yeah, the
that's
show
what
and
it
the
is.
evidence, and
yeah,
it's not about the actual people.
the stories,
the history, the stories.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's
humanity of it.
This podcast. I mean, we go over evidence. We like to do that.
Yeah,
we don't have a ton of it. We're not going to go through it every single episode. But the other half of it is we like having guests on like you. So I like to get experiences from other people, not just my own.
Right. Yeah. Going through evidence is great. I think that's really smart, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what it is. Yes.
So, Heather,
Uh-huh.
do you want to talk about your books?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have 4 books out right now. 2 are from when I used to live in Arizona. I forgot the names. Okay, I know I'm supposed to know the names, but I don't remember them. I wrote them 18 years ago. And then I have 2 books. One is called Erie, Oklahoma, and it's ghost stories and weird things that happen in Oklahoma. And there's a lot of personal experiences in those. And then I have one called Erie, Arkansas, which is the same thing, but in Arkansas. And then the book that's coming out in October is called Ghost Towns and Forgotten Places in Northwest Arkansas.
Oh, cool.
So
yes, cool.
Cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all on Amazon. I'm easy to find. Heather Woodward. Just Google me. They're there. And the 2 books from Arizona are there too. From what I remember when I wrote the ones in Arizona, they're mostly personal experiences.
Oh, cool. Cool.
That's cool.
So do you have a website you want to share with us? Your social media or anything like that?
Yes. My website is heatherashira.com because that's my psychic name. It's ASHERA. So heatherashira.com. And then I also have a Substack where I post a lot of stuff and do videos and stuff like that. And that's the same. It's Heather Ashira. So just look on Substack for it.
Awesome.
Yes.
What is the name of your podcast?
It's called Envious Alien. NVUS Alien.
And where can people find you for the podcast?
EnviousAlien.com is where it's all hosted, but I'm on Spotify and everywhere else. It's really easy to find. If you put NVUS Alien in Google, I'm the first one.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
There's nobody else.
Well, Heather, thank you for talking to us today.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. It
You
was
had
a great
some-
conversation.
Yeah, great stories.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So that wraps up our conversation for now. How much do you, Jody, think that we influence the paranormal?
I mean, there's definitely a human component to it, right?
Yeah, like how much do you think is us creating a haunting versus like that traditional thought of it's a dead relative?
Yeah, dead people lurking in the dark.
Yeah, like the spirits of those who've passed.
I think that it is a combination of actual factual events that have happened, like the lore around people, some legends, whatever. But I think it's also partially us putting energy into that and kind of creating that.
So like back into the conversation that we had about thought forms and egregores and how we're creating them. Yeah. And feeding them.
We're feeding them, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think some of it could be those who have passed on. But I also think that the majority of it is things that people have created and fed over time.
Yeah, well, especially when you get back into what we were talking about with local legends, right?
Yeah.
100%. I think that's what's going on there.
Right. Or even the well-known hauntings, how much of them are something that people have manifested.
Yeah, and it's something that grows, right? Because the more people that get eyes on that and kind of, research it or, watch TV shows about it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of putting their energy into it, right? So you're kind of building that mythos almost.
Yeah.
You're adding to that legend. And I think it's just kind of like a manifestation of all of our collective thoughts.
So what do you think about poltergeist in that sense?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think poltergeist could be people basically. I mean, they always say it's around teenagers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the common thought, right? Is that it's surrounding someone who's in that teenage adolescent phase.
Well, especially with the Enfield poltergeist, right? I mean, that's where that comes from, right?
I think it comes from just the majority of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, teenagers are creative people, right? They have creative minds. They're sort of figuring themselves out, and, figuring out the world around them at the same time, and they're very emotional.
Yeah.
Related to poltergeist activity, what do you think about things like telekinesis?
I mean, I think it could be something like that. I never considered that.
Yeah.
It could be like a manifestation of some type of telekinesis or something similar.
Does that turn into something more than, just books moving on the shelf or something like that?
I mean, I've always considered it like when I had first heard that it was linked to people of a certain age group, right? Like the adolescents, the teens. I always considered it more of like a teen angst or like an anger manifestation, something they're experiencing, but they can't process it. So this is how it's coming out. It's coming out with this like manifestation in the home of different things moving. And then how much of it plays into like in this time period, you could be having these adolescents that are going through puberty. Mm-hmm. So how much is playing also into that liminal state?
Oh yeah, puberty. Absolutely, yeah.
They're
between being a child and an adult, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And now they're going through that change.
It's a transition stage, yes.
Right.
Yep.
So then, do you think that a poltergeist is a thought form?
I think it can be.
Yeah, I definitely do too.
Not a collective thought form like we were talking about, but...
So then, do you think that there is an element in thought forms that it's more not just something that you create, but almost at a point it becomes like a mass hysteria? Like all of these people are collectively having the same, reactions and
well, it depends, right? If they're heavily influenced by it, right? If they're open to, these sort of things happening, it might influence them a little to believe.
Yeah.
And it might be them subconsciously kind of having maybe a false experience, right?
Almost going into with these preconceived notions that they have.
They have intentions going in that they're going to experience something and they experience it. Yep.
Right. But is that, then does that almost play into the mass hysteria aspect, where people are going into these locations that they know the history of, they know the paranormal expectations, let's say,
mm-hmm.
and then they're walking in there and then they're having these expectations met.
Yeah, sure. I think, why not?
Yeah, I agree.
But then, going back to, the whole concept of thought forms, are they actually creating something?
Right.
Are they creating the next Philip?
Yeah. And how many Phillips are out there?
Yeah. So we had some things to think about.
Yeah.
After talking to Heather here, she got her brain spinning a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was a great conversation.
So yeah, Heather, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk to her all day.
Yeah, I think she might have some more stories.
Yeah. It's always nice to find people in this field that think like you and have the same views as you.
Yeah.
Because everybody is there's so many pages in the same book that everybody is on. So it's nice to find people when you're at the same point.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
We hope Heather comes back to continue our conversation too in the future, or maybe start a new conversation. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree.
So where can people find us, Jody?
Oh, you're going to do this to me now?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Well, Gabrielle, if you go to podcastoftheparanormal.com, all of our social media links are in there. Our email.
Yeah. Drop us a message. Leave us a review. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know if you have ideas for episodes. Let us know if you want to come on an episode. We'd love to talk.
And we'd love some feedback. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, what you'd like to see.
Yeah.
We're open to anything.
Yeah, we are. Thanks for listening.